have this.
Okay.
Should I use this?
Beides bitte.
Yes, that's for the video and that's for us.
Okay, amazing.
So we start in 12 minutes.
Thank you so much for having me this evening. Wow, so many gears. I'll try to multitask this evening. But as Simon mentioned, I'm Kave, and he's done a good search about me. And I really have to think about cybersecurity and privacy after all this research, but he was very right about myself. My topic this evening is I'll share with you my transition from being a TM manager to becoming a founder of my own organization. A path that has been filled with challenges such as registering the business from the ground up, getting all the paperwork right, or a path that's been filled with surprises, such as a time when I fired an employee and forgot to send the letter with DHL. And so the employee claimed they did not receive the letter, which meant we had to pay them for 1 more month. Or times of introspection where I sit down and I lie on my bed and say, can I really do this? Do I really want to be a founder? Do I really need to build, this organization? But then again, this talk tonight, sorry, I'm a bit nervous, but this talk tonight is not only about the challenges that I've had as a founder, but also the lessons that I'm learning through the journey. And I hope that can help you as well to the transition that you're going through as an individual. So just the only thing that you did not mention probably, I'm originally from the Congo. And I spent about 13 years in South Africa, so I have experience living in that country. And for the last 10 years, I've been trying to acquaint myself with the German culture and its people. So you can call me officially Afro-German. And if I have to say what is my mission in life, I would say it is to advocate for better workspaces and a better world, advocating for justice. So why TalentDiverse and BlackInTech Berlin? With TalentDiverse, the whole idea is to promote the inclusion and representation of women and BIPOC talent in tech. If you might know, for every female or woman identifying executive, there are 12 male executives in the tech industry. So the number says this themselves. Why BlackInTech? Only 7% of black workers, of tech workers, are identifying as black, and only 1.7% identify as black women. So the numbers really tell it themselves. And beside the fact that I spent all my time living in other people's countries, which pushed me to start my businesses, I believe this is also one of the reasons why I'm on the journey to start a business that will make an impact in this direction. So let's talk about the transition. I've spent a lot of time, 8 years, in the TA space as a TA manager, and my last role was a TA director at Smart Recruiters. And my role was really straightforward. I had the budget. I only had the goal to hire great people, make sure they were a culture fit, support management, and last but not least, make sure that the organization is growing. And I was very confident of all my choices. I could smell who was the right person, for each role that I hired for. Then again, I decided to become a founder. I didn't decide to become a founder because I was tired of being hired. It was COVID time. I had my last baby, I was homeschooling, I had a team of 5, and so a lot of things were happening around my life. And honestly speaking to myself, I decided to take the leap and say, okay, maybe I should just focus on working, on building my dream on the side, instead of trying to take this role with higher responsibilities. Maybe I should take this journey. And it dawned on me during that path that I'm not only now hiring for a team, but I'm actually building an organization, an entire organization with different functions. It also dawned on me that I was actually also trying to sell a service. So I'm not only hiring for a team, but I'm also trying to sell a service that I still hope will create value for somebody else. And all of this, of course, when you start a business, it's clear, but until you're in the journey, it's not that clear. Then there was this realization that I am the sole responsible person for everything that happens within the organization, whether it's a success or failure in hiring, in firing, it was my responsibility. Pressure, and if there were no sales are happening, it was my responsibility. And of course, you go through this on a day-to-day basis, but it doesn't hit you until you hit that moment when it dawns on you that, yeah, it is your fault that this person was hired. It is your fault that we're not making any sales. And so it can be quite challenging. And lastly, the weight of employees' expectations. I do have 3 employees working with me at BlackInTech, and I do work with other freelancers as well. And employees expect you to have their salaries. Duh. They expect you to have their salaries. They expect you to have their well-being in mind. They expect you to tell them how to do their job, give them responsibilities, even though you keep on repeating that every meeting, or you think they got it when they got the job, they expect you to still tell them that. They also expect you to tell them what will happen in the next 3 to 5 years. I mean, let's just worry about Friday. But these are really like high expectations that you go through as a founder, and it doesn't hit you as much when you're on the TA side and when you're an employee. And this can really wreck your confidence as a person. And so as I go through these challenges and many others, there is somebody that comes and takes a seat with me, and that is doubt. And with this doubt, I have questions such as, why didn't I see that coming? I'm so smart. I've hired before. I've helped build teams before. Why didn't I see that now that I'm building this organization? Oh, did I really hire this person? Really? Why didn't I have a second person or third person, have a look at this candidate that I've just hired or this new team member? Or why is everybody misinterpreting what I'm saying? I have one meeting, we talk about the goals, we talk about the task, but the next day, somebody, for some reason, still doesn't know what to do. And then it dawned on me, of course, perhaps I should take some communications training because it's not working, or perhaps I should have a buffer in between myself and my employees. And last but not lastly, why is everybody not seeing how hard I'm working to try and get everybody employed? See, he said they don't care. And this perspective is what when you are an employee, you don't get to see this perspective from a founder's side. They don't care. It's a hard truth, but they actually don't. And that can really frustrate you. And so on this path, there are some lessons that I'm learning. And that is that I should at least try to use this self-doubt phase or journey as a growth tool, like a tool for growth for myself, and not take it as a bad thing. It's only by questioning myself, or as we question ourselves, that we learn how to grow, we make mistakes, and we move from there. I also have a lot of empathy for leaders right now. So much empathy than I had 8 years ago. There is so much pressure that you don't go through when you're not a founder. So I have a lot of empathy. And next, I've come to a place where I've come to believe that there is power in vulnerability. But I believe as a founder, there should be boundaries as well in my vulnerability, that the right people are not my employees to share my vulnerability with, but to find the trusted people that I could share this with. And yes, I might actually need therapy through this journey. Yes, employees always request this, but nobody ever thinks that actually founders do need therapy on this journey. And this is from speaking from 3 years of experience, so you can imagine people on this journey for 10 years or more. And lastly, as I've mentioned, I need trusted partners along this path. Otherwise, I will not probably be the best founder or empathetic person that I want to be if I don't have people stepping in between myself and the team that I'm trying to build. And so, my lesson learning in this is to embrace the questions as a sign of growth. Because as you go through this, you ask yourself questions, you doubt, you lie down on your bed and you say, can I really do this? If you find the right answers to that, you've probably succeeded on this path or the path of transition that you're going through. And so with that, embrace the journey. And I wish you a happy transitioning. And I hope that my journey will get better from here. Thank you.